Okay, hello everyone. This is Naeem Heather, and I'm here with you for yet another session of the IELTS training classes. Today, my topic is going to be the IELTS listening module that would require a lot of concentration for all of you, and hopefully the objective of the course would be that by the end of this lecture you know what the IELTS test is and you are able to appear for the test in a much better and confident manner. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so the objective of the program is that today I am going to give you an overview of the IELTS listening test. Overview means complete information of the IELTS test, what the test is going to be like, what will be the duration, what would be the text that you'll be hearing, and so on and so forth. And as we go on, you'll get to know about it. Then of course there are 7 to 8 different question types that would appear in the IELTS test. So with you, I'm going to do all those question types so that you have got practice, and doing it with me will raise level of confidence at your level. So we are going to do the question types together, and not only we will do the question types together, but I will do one complete test with you also, so that I can simulate the test-like environment and you know how to go on when the actual test is taking place. So one simulation of the actual test, and then once I'm through with that, I will give you some tips and strategies and what you should do and what you should not do when it comes to the IELTS listening test. So I hope by the end of the day these are our targets that we wish to achieve, and hopefully we will do so. All I need is full concentration from you. And as I told you a little earlier, listening demands fullest level of concentration. So let's keep it throughout the program. So if you need to make notes, you can make notes. But since you have the liberty of playing it back and forth again and again, even if you don't make notes right now, you can make them later. But please, your concentration has to be optimum. All right, now let's move on. A lot of you will be having this session for the first time, so you have got no idea what the IELTS test is like. So let me give you an insight into the IELTS test so that when you are actually doing it, you already know about it. So the listening overview, that is what I'm going to talk about now. Now IELTS has 4 sections. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And every section has 10 questions. That means in all, how many questions do we have in 4 sections? Daniel, yeah, 40 questions. So we have got 40 questions in 4 sections. And remember that each question will carry 1 mark. And how those marks are interpreted in a band, I will give you a band report also. For example, if out of 40 you make 38 right, you may get 8 or 8.5 band scores. So I'll tell you, and if you get 40 out of 40, that means you get a 9 band score. So I'll tell you about that. But what I'm trying to tell you here is that in IELTS you will be listening in 4 sections. I will give you more information about each section, but it is going to be in 4 sections. Every section will have 10 questions and every question will carry 1 mark. So you got it right. Let me now move on to the next point. Now please note that when you are listening, you are either listening through headphones or you are listening through speakers. So your ears are concentrating towards the listening, while the questions are on the question booklet which is in front of you. So your eyes totally focused on the question booklet and your ears totally focused towards the listening. Now please note that the test is designed in such a manner that the same sequence is followed in questions in which you hear the text. So for example, answer to question 1 will appear at the beginning, answer to question number 2 will only appear after you have found out the question 1 answer. So remember that the test is designed in such a manner that the answers appear in the order of the listening passage. Okay, hope we have that clear. So the next thing is that during the test, you are given time to look at the questions. When you look at the questions, you become familiar with what kind of listening you are going to hear. For example, if the question is, when was the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima? So when you read this question, it means that the listening that you are going to hear would be about either the World War or dropping of the atomic bomb. So reading questions actually give you the power of anticipation to find out what's going to be in the listening test. Now, during the test, you will be given time to look at the questions, and later on, at the end of the section, you will be given time to look at the answers also. So I'll tell you how to go about it, but let's just move on. Now, as you listen, now please note that the listening is played once only. So there is no second time in IELTS listening. If you miss something, you miss something. So concentration again is the key, and you have to mark the answers as you listen. Don't take time. Don't think that you will mark them again, because you will never get a chance to re-listen to what has already gone by. So gone by is gone by. So please note that mark your answers on the question booklet while you are listening. Now, let's just move on to further on the evaluation side. Now please note, when you are marking your answers, the spelling is very vital, because it's an English test. You cannot get away with writing incorrect spellings, and you cannot use an incorrect grammatical form. So your grammar and your spelling has to be up. If it is a wrong spelling, your answer will be marked wrong. Also, some people think that they did not understand, and as a result of that, they do not mark any answer. Don't do that. That's a big mistake. In IELTS, there is no negative marking, and since there is no negative marking, whatever you have understood, whether you are not confident about it, please mark, because there are more chances of getting the answer right than wrong. And since there is no negative marking, you will not be penalized if your answer is wrong. So it's very important to mark all the answers on the question booklet. And when the paper ends, you are given 10 minutes to transfer all the answers from your question booklet to the answer sheet. Got me? No need to rush. A lot of people think that question booklet is something sacred. You cannot write on it. No, man, you have paid a lot of money to the IELTS administration, and actually you have purchased the question booklet. Though they will not give it to you to take home, but that's your property which will still be staying with them. So what you need to do, you need to mark on the question booklet, and once the listening tape ends or the listening stops, you have to transfer those answers on to the answer sheet. And that is what is going to be marked by the examiner. The examiner will not look at your question booklet. They'll only and only look at your answer sheet. So I hope you get me. And please note that there is no way that the recording will be played again. So again, what I told you, concentration. Keep focused. Those of you who remain focused, believe me, will get 10 out of 10. That is all 9 band scores. But those who are thinking about everything but not the test will be at a disaster level. So listening is one thing which you can really improve on if you do it on regularly. Like every other component, you have to concentrate and you will get through, you will get good marks. Okay, so that was a little about the IELTS test. Then something more about the speakers who would be normally in those texts. Please note that this is an English test, and people who are appearing for the test may be going to New Zealand, Australia, Canada, UK, maybe USA. So a range of accents may be tested. Not just British, not just Australian, not just Canadian, not just American. So it could be any of these accents. So please start from today, start listening, not watching. A lot of people start watching Discovery and see. No, I don't want you to watch, because watching means you get 70 to 80% meaning by just looking at the graphics. So try to concentrate on what is being said and try to train your ears to understand a particular accent. So that's what would be required out of you. Now, let's now move on further. Now, the listening that you would be doing will be of 30 minutes long. So those 4 sections that will go on for 30 minutes, and then you will be given 10 extra minutes, because while you were listening you would be marking on the question booklet. But remember, we are not going to mark on the question book, we are not going to mark them on the answer sheet. Why? At that time, because we cannot concentrate everywhere. Our ears concentrating on listening, our eyes looking at the question booklet. And we cannot then use another document to start writing the answers, because that's going to put us in trouble. So while we are listening, no need to concentrate on anything else except listening and the question booklet which carries your answers. So you'll mark them on the question booklet, and then once the listening is over, you will be given 10 extra minutes to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. And that's an ample time actually. That's a lot of time. So no need to look at the answer sheet. Just concentrate on the question booklet, mark it, cross it, make notes, do whatever you want to. But at the end of the test, when you are given 10 minutes, transfer them onto the answer sheet. Now, one more thing that I would like to tell you. A lot of people think that you will be given 10 minutes in every component. No, the extra 10-minute time is only given in listening, not in reading. So please be aware of the fact.